Hey guys, CrossGrave here. Here talking today about the the Hitsugaya deck, green bleach that I've made for Union Arena preparations for the rare battles. I still do not feel like 100% confident in this deck. I've been kind of practicing with it. I have not done a locals tournament with it, which I am kind of regretting, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. I have talked to some of the other guys. A few of them are running green. I think everybody's either going to be pushing for purple or yellow. I know those tend to be stronger. The yellow is definitely very strong against purple. I have yet to win against the yellow Quincy deck, but we shall see. So, just kind of talking about it, like your very standard, your 4-0 Hitsugayas. I am running 4 of the green Isanes. Let me zoom back in. Mainly for the purpose of when played, choose up to one other character on your field. It gains 1,000 just to bump up a character in case I need it very early on or late. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that goes, how it plays. I have 4 of the Unohanas just so I can raid into her. I have 2 of the 6 raid Unohanas in my deck. The 6 energy 1 cost Unohanas in my deck, but just in case, I was like, well, I want to be able to raid on top of her at any given point, so I'm making sure I can try to hit as many chances as I can. That's why I have 4 of the zeros. Next, I have 2 of the Nanaus. She's your bounce back very early on, your 2 energy. I'm running quite a couple different characters with the 2 energies just so I can get the raid on for the Unohanas. I do have plenty of Kenpachis, so I'm running 2 of the Yachirus. When played, choose up to 1 Kenpachi Zaraki on the field and switch it to active. So you want to play your Kenpachi first, and then you'll play a Yachiru just so you can attack with him that turn. Or for whatever reason, he gets tapped. So here's another Unohana staple, just so I can raid on top of her. This one is the 2 energy, 1 action. When played, draw a card. So I have her. I have 2 of the Kenseis. When attacking, character gains 1,000 battle points until the end of turn. 2 energy, 1 action. Whoa. So he kind of becomes a big body early on, just so when you're swinging. Very helpful. Just sometimes you want to hit your opponent hard early, and that's very helpful. I'm running 2 of the Shinjis. When played, he gives a character +1 impact. Just in case like I'm struggling to get rid of a defender or something on my opponent, just give impact. This deck doesn't really gain a lot of impact anywhere. Just the Kenpachi is the only one that I know that has the impact. So wherever I can give impact would be really cool. Fortunately, it's really hard to bounce him back into your hand, play him again. But I'm going to try to make it work with him. Running 2 of him, 2 energy, 1 action. Yeah. Your other very much staple, because I am doing the Hitsugaya, I'm running 4 of the 2 energy, 1 action color trigger, so he's my color trigger. When triggered, play 1 character with 2 energy or with 2 or less required energy, 1 AP cost from your hand, set it to active on your field. As you can see, I have a lot of targets for that color trigger to help me out in case you want to set up a blocker or something. You do get to choose where it goes. It doesn't have to go onto your front line. So if for whatever reason your opponent hits you on early, you get to play a character from your hand if you have it. But that's the color trigger I'm running. Now switching to the 3 energy use. 3 energy cost energies. The Ikaku, he's your double blocker, very big body and a double blocker, very helpful. I'm not suspecting that he's going to be on the field very long or he's going to be able to block as often as I'd like, but in case my opponent is playing very, very much rush, he can be very helpful with that, to negate that. I have 3 of the Sajin, 3 energy, 1 action point. Generates 2 energy. Like I said, you gotta, if you want to play that Unohana, you want to have a lot of double energy generating cards, just in case she hits a trigger, you draw her. She's very helpful. Next character she plays, practically free, minus the 2 action point cost Kenpachi, but I mean, he's helpful in your front line, and then you want to move him back. That way you can play something else, because he does generate 2, but when attacking one 13 court guard squad affinity card gains 500. You could give it to him. You could give it to a smaller body, so it becomes a bigger body. 500 isn't a lot, but it can make a difference. It can make a difference, but the step is the more helpful feature. You can play them up top, end of turn, or right before you begin your main phase. You just step them back. That way you're generating more energy. Very helpful. I am trying something different. I am only running 3 Bankai, so that's 3 final triggers. You can run up to 4. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. My personal thing is, like, I think I've only ever hit 1 final trigger this whole time I've been playing, and the game's been out for quite a while now. Doesn't happen very often. The ability of it is very more helpful, that you gain an action point. You gain your action points back, so you can do a lot more during your main phase. I'm trying this out just so I can run more character cards. I'm going to see how it feels. If I do decide to use it for the rare battles, we'll see how it goes. My last 3 energy, 1 action point card is Shunsui. Very circumstantial card, I guess. If you play him in your front line very early on, he's a damage 2. You can buff him up with some of the cards that I have in here, just so you can become a bigger body and really account for that damage 2 that he comes with. But he is another 2 energy generating card, which is my whole thing of I want to be able to play that Unohana at some point and see how effective she is. So the comparison, I have the Altar Toshiro, the 1 star, compared to the regular SR. Toshiro Hitsugaya, your raid. Very, very different ability that it comes on to. So choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting. Will remain resting until the end of their next attack phase. But if you have 6 or more other 13 court guard squads affinity cards on your field, then it's you pick 1 on the front line, and then the whole back line gets rested until the next attack phase. The whole thing with that is everything's tapped. So if you clear his whole front line, they can move up characters, but they can't really block. So unless they raid upon it, very circumstantial, but it's one of those weird things where you're like, hey, I just tapped everything, and now you can't really block or swing, so what are you gonna do about it? 4 of your Daigurin Hyomaru, 4 energy, 1 action. This is your Getsuga Tensho, but in green. The only difference is I believe your Getsuga Tensho sideline something with 3,000 unless Ichigo's on the field. This one is you switch it to resting unless you have Hitsugaya on the field, in which case you will choose a character with 5,000 and sideline it. Your special trigger, 4 of those, no matter how you trigger its effect, ridiculously helpful card. So I am running 2 of the 4 energy 1 action point Kenpachi Zarakis. Very, very helpful card. Very hard to deal with for your opponent. Biggest thing about this character, it's not affected by BP reduction abilities. So they have to kill it. I have to be able to send it straight to the sideline. You're not going to reduce its battle points to 0 to sideline it. So Byakuya can't do anything against him. As far as Bleach goes, he'll be tapped or whatever, but he's not going to lose any battle points. And then during your turn, he becomes an even bigger body. He becomes a 5,000 battle point card. Very, very threatening card. Unlike his other counterpart, the 4 energy 2 action Kenpachi Zaraki, not a raid card. So that's going to be very hard to deal with for yellow. Once again, I was lucky enough to pull out the 1-star SR, the alternate art here. Very different. I love it. I love the black silhouettes on these alternate arts. Very beautiful cards. But the thing with him is he can't be played in your energy line. You have to play him up front. He doesn't generate any energy for that reason. He does come with impact. And then when your 1 played ability is choose up to 1 character with 2,000 or less battle points on your opponent's front line and sideline it. If 6 or more other 13 court guard affinity cards are on your field, 4,000 or less battle points instead. So essentially, he's a smaller Daiguren Kyuremaru in your deck, because this card selects up to 5,000, but in case your opponent has a pretty big body, 4,000 in itself, he will deal with it for you if you have enough of your 13 quarter guard affinity cards. I'm not saying this is the bread and butter of the deck, but this is definitely one of those helpful, very impactful cards. Your 6 energy 1 action Yoruichi Unohana, or Yachiru Unohana, sorry. Raid character. When played, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 character card with 13 court guard squad affinity or less, and 4 or less required energy among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order, and then reduce the AP cost of the next character with 4 or less required energy to use from your hand by this turn by 1. So essentially, everything except your Kenpachi is free to play. Every other card is free to use in any other way, as long as it is a character, though. So play her, play something else, and you still have maybe another action point to use. But the AP reduction on this deck is pretty helpful if you get to play her. Maybe play it to Gaia or something. This is what I'm thinking of using so far. I do have my purple bleach deck that I am still kind of tweaking. I did run a locals with it. I did alright. I stumbled upon some of my cards and I did some horrible plays, so I'm still getting used to it. But that'll definitely be the next video I show you guys before these rare battles kick in, and try to figure out what deck I'm running, kind of see what everyone else is using. I am more comfortable with the bleach deck, but I did build this one because I had the cards. Obviously, I needed to show off those alt-art cards one way or another. But that's how I'm feeling about this deck. I would love to use it. I want to be more confident with it. It's very fun. with the little practice matches that I have been able to use against some of my other decks, just playing by myself, just trying to figure them out. But I'm having fun with it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are gonna use for your rare battles. If you're gonna do the rare battle events, I know the promotional cards for that are very nice. They're gonna be very desired. But please like and subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you would do differently. I will catch you guys here soon. Take care.